Hello everyone and welcome back to the Assetto Corsa Conelanders League. Today we are doing the B main for Silverstone, and I got pole position in qualifying. Not by much. Ollie Parsley was very quick as well, almost as fast as me. It was close. Anyway, you know, as is typical of me, I get a bad start. Tap Ollie there a bit as we go around the first corner, but nothing major. No harm, no foul, I believe they say. Anyway, Ollie goes completely wide there, so I take that position easily. Make sure to stay clear of the sausage there. Having a flashback to that one. And it all goes to hell behind me, as I believe Ollie loses it a bit and ends up going wide and spins a bit, tries to make it back to the inside, collides with Marzen, and it all progresses from there. So, at this point, we now are 10 seconds ahead of third place, with Powers in front, 1.5 seconds. So, from qualifying, I know that I am faster than he is, Powers. So, at this point, it's just a matter of making up the time. Now, I'm still on full fuel, so I'm not going to be going as quick as I was in qualifying, and I wasn't really used to driving it full fuel because even in the heat race, I did have full fuel, but I wasn't driving well at all because of the crash and spins. So I wasn't driving well then. So I wasn't really sure what speed I should have been going, but I've made up. Well, I mean, I'll wait for a straight, but it appears that I've made up quite a bit on powers already after the only half a lap. So yeah, so we were 1.5 seconds last lap, and now I'm 0.7 seconds, so made up half of our gap already in one lap. So things are going well, that's for sure. Still got a large gap to Ollie behind me. Tricky corner, this one. It's all about the float. You gotta just let it rotate. Don't accelerate. Just let it turn round and get on the gas at just the right time. Haven't made any grounds on him here. Still 0.8 seconds. Just set the fastest lap there, 1:18.3. Which is not bad at all. Although Ollie comes in with a 1:18.0 there. So he's catching us now. Though only incrementally so. I mean, even 16 laps, even if he keeps catching me at that pace, he won't be able to catch me by the end of the race. Powers has a little moment there, nearly spins, manages to save it. So I've got a run on him, although it seems to even out a bit. And we're going side by side into whatever this corner's named, because I don't know the names. Hold it round the outside, hold it round the outside. And I have completed the pass. But then he goes and pits anyway. So I didn't need to really pass him there. I could have just, stayed behind. But I lost about a second in battling him. So probably wasn't worth it. But I didn't know that he was going to pit. So right. So now I'm out by myself. Let's start hot lapping, shall we? So seeing as I've not got much to talk about in terms of racing, I'm going to quickly talk about the issue with the sound. A while ago, I was getting weird, crackling, glitchy sounds, like a pop. But it was like, it's hard to describe. It wasn't a pop, like a type pop, but it was like it was horrible, and it would do it a lot on YouTube if I watched 1440p or if I watched a Twitch stream. it'd do it a lot for some reason, and I didn't know what was going on. It was doing it a lot in Assetto Corsa as well. That was the Nürburgring week, I believe. Or it may have been this week. No, it wasn't. It was the Nürburgring week. Because what I did was to I'd reinstalled all my audio drivers, you know, installed new version of Flash Player. Thought it may have been something related to that, seeing as it was doing it online, and Assetto Corsa might have been a different issue, but none of them did anything to help. So I went and looked in the device manager, and I noticed that Nvidia has its own audio drivers. There's two of them. One's like a virtual audio thing, and one's just Nvidia high definition audio. So I disabled both the Nvidia ones, and it seemed that would fix the problem. What I hadn't anticipated, although it makes sense now, is that disabling both the Nvidia drivers meant that it couldn't record sound anymore. But of course, I didn't know that yet, so I recorded the whole of Silverstone with no sound. And I only discovered it after I did my run in the Dirt Rally League. My first run in the Dirt Rally League ever. At which point I realised there's no sound here, what's going on, and then I had to figure out what was going on there. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't re-enable both Nvidia ones because one of them was causing the issue. But I enabled the other one, and that meant I could record sound now, so I have sound now. And I also have... so I redid the Dirt Rally run with sound. I'm not sure whether you would say it was cheating or not. I mean, restarts are on, so I'm gonna use the restart if I have to. You know, not normally I wouldn't, but in the circumstance, you know, I had no sound, so I wasn't going to upload it in that state. Right, so currently still in first place. Powers is only 17 seconds behind us, which means that we won't be able to get tyres. Because, oh no, he's 35 seconds behind. Oh yeah, I believe he just had a crash with Ollie Parsley, so yeah. Before, he was 17 seconds behind, which means I wouldn't have been able to take tyres, because tyres take about 20 seconds. Add that onto the whole pit being slow in pits. You know, that's probably a total of, what, 30 seconds? And, yeah, go a bit wide there. I felt I was losing traction, so I felt just go wide. Don't bother trying to make it and spin out like I did in the last race. So, yeah. Just trying to keep it consistent, which I'm not doing very good at, by the way. I'm getting about 119s now. Not doing very consistent, but not doing terribly considering people, you know, I had seem to be getting high 120s, and my front tyres are starting to go now, which isn't great. Anyway, so yeah, I wouldn't have been able to get tyres, and I still can't get tyres because he's only 20 seconds behind me at the moment. So, no tyres for me this race. Coming up to the halfway point now. When we go over the line, that'll be the 8 laps. Anyway, so my pit strategy is to just go as long as possible on a full tank of fuel, which I believe was 14 laps. So go all the way to 14 laps. Pit. Sorry, man. Pit. Just take as little fuel as possible, because Powers is too close to take tyres. And I know that I'm good, because I'm not good at saving the tyres because I'm using a controller, and I can't really, I can't feel the car with force feedback or whatever. So I don't, you know, and I'm also not, I'm not smooth with the control inputs. So, you know, saving the tyres is impossible for me, really. So I know that by the end of the race, my tyres are going to be dead, and I'm going to be struggling a lot. But I also know that I can't take tyres, because I don't know if Powers has taken tyres or not, and he's 20 seconds behind me. So if I take tyres, that's going to put me out behind Powers and possibly Ollie as well. And with only what, like 2 laps after I've pit, you know, I didn't think I'd be able to make that time up. You know, I didn't think it would have been worth it. Also, less cubes has gone there. So yeah. Just have as short a pit stop as humanly possible. Take as little fuel as possible, so that then I can, and then just take, so that I've kept my lead basically. I'll probably have a lead of about 10 seconds after I come out of the pits, and then it would just be a matter of doing slow laps, just trying not to spin out. Probably about probably mid 119s would be what I was aiming for after I'd come out of the pits, but we'll see if I can manage that. Now, I've got a few laps to talk about something, so I just want to speak a bit about my field of view. Now, up to this week, my field of view had been 56, I believe. It was just the default one that Assetto Corsa gives you. But in the Discord chat, quite a few people were having a chat about it. And someone linked a, real, in quote marks, FOV to be what it would be if your monitor was a window into the real world, so that you can judge, spatial awareness, judge where other cars are on the track in relation to you, that sort of thing. Be more precise with your inputs, because it feels like, you can more precisely see where exactly your car is. And I tried it, and the one it recommended was like 31 FPS, so I tried it, and it was also a little bit of a moment here. Was going to go right, but then he reversed. Well, he didn't reverse. He did the right thing. He just slammed the brakes on. But that left him right in the middle of the track, and I wouldn't have been able to make it because I was going too fast. So I just went around the outside onto the runoff area. Thank goodness there was one. So yeah, I tried 31 FPS and it was terrible. I couldn't drive like that. But then again, if you think about it, my monitor isn't really big. I guess you might say it was a small monitor. I'm not really sure what the size of monitors generally is, but mine isn't a large monitor by any stretch of the imagination. And for it to be a realistic field of view, you could basically just see the very top of the steering wheel. You couldn't see any dials anyway, so it was unusable for me, to be honest. So I put it up, and I believe I now have it on 43, which is, have a little bit of skid there. Yeah, I put it up to 43. That's I think it's about halfway between the recommended one and the one I had it on previous, which gave me quite good view to the left and right of my car. But yeah, I found this one to be the best compromise, in that I can see both the front fenders of my car, so I'll be able to see where other cars are when we're door-to-door racing, if we're side by side, which is great. But I can also see the steering wheel, which is important for me because I need to be able to see where the hands are, because I'm not using a steering wheel, so I need to know my input. The only way I can, really tell my inputs in terms of the car is looking at the driver's hands. So I need to be able to see those, and I can with this. And it just seemed to be the most comfortable. And especially with the virtual mirror, I don't need to be able to see the mirrors anyway, so yeah, all worked out well. So I'm currently on lap 11. I'm the only one not to have pit by now, I think. Well, no, Viperion's currently in the pits. I'm really going slow around there. Just don't accelerate too much, because that's a corner where it can all go wrong, as you would have seen if you watched my my heat race, my train wreck of a heat race. Anyway, not a bad lap there, 118.9. Not as fast as Ollie, he's catching me, I bet. Well, I was going to say I bet he took tyres, but he may just be better with worn tyres than I am. Generally, I am good with fresh tyres, like I can really push them really hard and get good lap times, but then I just wreck the tyres, and I'm not good at all on the low grip tyres. And it's not necessarily low grip either, because I actually do quite well in low grip conditions, which is a bit weird, but I do. But obviously having high grip tires and a low grip surface is different from having a high grip surface and low grip tires. I mean, I don't know how they're different, but they are different, and I can feel it being different when I am driving and almost spinning out all the time. But anyway, so about to put in another, I'm starting to get the consistent lap times now. So last time I got a 118.9, and now I'm getting a 119. So I'm sort of getting my pace sorted out now, finding a good, because I had to get used to the tires, losing the grip, so starting to realize my pace. Now I'm not sure what happened behind me, whether it was another crash or what, but Powers is now what, like 50 seconds behind. I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, that was that the crash with Ollie, and there wasn't one before. Oh, I don't know, but obviously I don't have any sound, so I can't hear them talking, so I don't know. But a bit of a slow lap here. Well, maybe not. We'll see. Oh, and it doesn't matter because I'm coming into the pits. See, I think a full tank was enough, 14 laps, but I just didn't want to risk it, so I went in a bit early. Because I mean, the heavy car from the fuel would, well, I mean, it's not heavy because I hardly put any fuel in it, but it being heavier would be helpful in not spinning out. Anyway, once again, I missed my blooming pit box like I've done the past few weeks. Was kind of unsure how much to add, so I just put half filled. I reckoned it was about a third, but I wanted to make sure I had enough and did it half full. Didn't take very long, about 5 seconds or so, and we're back out, and Powers is still 25 seconds behind, so good pit stop. At this point, it's just a matter of keeping it clean now. I mean, there's only 2 laps, and he's 15 seconds behind, so I can afford to go really slowly. Like, oh well, he's about 10 seconds behind, so I could go 5 seconds slower than the pace. Like, I could do 124s and still win. So at this point, I'm quite confident. I'm sort of thinking, right, you've got this. Just be conservative. Don't full throttle. Just make it to the end without making a huge mistake, spinning out or whatever. Especially on these last few corners, being really tentative, just really don't want to replay of what happened in the heat race. I mean, that heat race really got me down, because I generally like Silverstone as a track, and I like to think that I do well on it. And I mean, I did qualify 9th in the heat, which is good for me. But no, just had to clip the sausage, didn't I? And then I was just frustrated that I'd made the crash at the beginning, that I was not driving at my best, nowhere near my best. I was just driving horrifically, to be honest with you. And out of frustration, I spun out, a few more times, which got me even more angry. And I was considering not doing the feature race at one point, but I wanted revenge. After coming dead last, I felt I need to get something out of this. You know, that's the first time I've actually ever come last in a race in Conelanders, which, you know, that was disappointing. But someone has to come last at the end of the day, and I felt, you know, I had the pace. So I went for it, and I went to the B main, and I got pole position, so I was actually the fastest of all the people here. Anyway, as you can see, 120.4 there. I mean, it's not like I say, it's not a great lap, but I could do 124s, well, 123s really, and still win. So, just being very conservative and making sure I don't crash. Although Powers, it seems, is also struggling a bit on tyres because he just did a 119.8, so he's not catching me that fast, only by 0.5 a lap. And this is the last lap now. And there's unless I crash now, there is no way he can catch up. We've been 12 seconds behind, 11, whatever. Assetto Corsa's relative being rubbish as usual. Seems to be about 15 seconds now on the straight, but yeah. Just don't spin out now. I was kind of hoping to lap Marzen just to boost my ego a bit more, but yeah, no, that didn't happen, but all is well. Last corner now. This was a heart-in-mouth moment. Last corner, one that's messed me up so many times. Just need to make sure I don't do anything stupid. Slow out, don't full throttle it, and get on the power. And there we have it, across the finish line, in first place, my first win of the Conelander series in the B main. What a race. Despite there not being much racing. I only actually raced one on one corner and that was it, but thank you very much for watching. I certainly enjoyed it. Although there was no racing, there was the whole matter of, you know, trying not to die on the tyres, the whole pit strategy. Yeah, it was a very enjoyable race. And definitely made up for the horrific heat that I had. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week when we're at Zandvoort. Death track, although looking at it, I am really fast there. Because of my ballast, which is now 0 because I come last in the heat this week, or last week, whatever, how you want to say it. I was getting like, I got a high 159, like 159.9. And I don't think I've seen anyone else get times like that except Sharky, obviously. Well, I mean, I don't... You know what? We'll have to see next week. So I'll see you then. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.